between Gabi, Olmo, Pedri, De Jong, Fermin, Lopez, Casado, and then Rafinha, who's also technically played as a 10, they're all about to be healthy together at the same time. In theory, we're knocking on all the wood here now. Here we go. So once all are match fit, how do you best leverage that talent? I get rotation is needed, but who starts and who rotates? And Eric, it's no disrespect to your question, but I'm going to even make this more myopic in what we're focusing on for you, Robby, in that better yet, this whole idea is already this week. And fortunately, I think not all of them are completely fit. So some of this answers itself. But how should Hansi Flick rotate for Sevilla, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid, which is 3 games in 7 days against, again, Sevilla, which what you're going to get from them is who knows the last 3 seasons. Bayern Munich is Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid is Real Madrid.
Yeah, I think he mentioned the most important part of all of this is just rotation. That's the biggest part of having all of these guys back, because a lot of them do a lot of what the other player coming back does as well. Fermin and Olmo are similar in some aspects, and then Olmo similar to Lamine in some aspects, Pedri and Gavi. And so whoever is going to play in whichever game, I'm sure you could look at certain matchups, right? If you need someone to take somebody on in the middle of the park, maybe you'll take Olmo over Pedri or something. Or you want to play Lamine on the left or something insane. You play Olmo over on the right. It's just having the ability to rotate them and not risk injury and keep them at like a healthy level of game time, which is so difficult. We've seen all of these injuries coming up. It's just the most important part. Eric mentioned it in his question, and I don't know if there's an ideal. I don't think Hansi Flick knows if there's an ideal certain setup that he wants to play against these guys. Against maybe Bayern plays a little bit more open than Madrid does, and in that case, maybe you want to play Fermin against Bayern because he maybe can run a little bit faster or push a little bit harder than Danny can, and then Danny against Madrid. I don't know. It's just finding some sort of way to manage their minutes and eventually seeing what the best setup is. I don't know. I don't know if you see something that I don't there, but that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I'll put myself farther out on the limb here that I think Eric Garcia, Pedri, and Casado, did I get that right? Yep. Based on fitness, I think those are the 3 that start against Sevilla. I think you lock that in. That's a midfield 3 that should be good and start against Sevilla. And then against Bayern is where you reincorporate. As I said before, I think to your point, that game might be a little more open than El Clasico will be. So, and Dani Olmo has historically played well against Bayern Munich. So I'm going with some combination of, I mean, if you want to go Pedri Casado, you can do that for Bayern Munich. If you want to go, I think De Jong also could potentially be that guy against Bayern Munich. I think the ground that he covers and the way that he does, I think supports that. And then you put Pedri next to him because again, we're not throwing Gavi right in just yet. But if you go De Jong and Pedri, this is again also if everyone is fully fit and whatever. But yeah, I go Olmo, Pedri, De Jong then for Bayern, and then Real Madrid. I'm loving it. Let's bring back Gavi. He's got some minutes off the bench against Sevilla, against Bayern Munich.
Yellow card in the 3rd minute.
He's hungry to start? Absolutely not. He's grabbing yellow cards. He's getting fouled. So I'm starting Gavi in 7 days to start Pedri. But I'm also hoping that the situation was that he came out in the or Bayern Munich. So I'm going Pedri, Gavi, and I mean, you know what though? No, I'm going De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri as the 10. That's what I'm doing against Real Madrid. There it is. So we're going De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri as the 10. So I'm going to put myself on a limb and say that is what I would do if all 3 of these are, or all 7 of these players are healthy. Rafinha is going to be out on this wing because Ferran Torres is healthy, and I would start Ansu Fati on the left wing because here's another little add-on to this that, you know, one of the biggest factors in all of this is that Lamine Yamal is coming off that minor hamstring injury. And I wouldn't necessarily want to start him. So I would hope that Rafinha starts on the right wing and Ansu gets that coveted start on the left wing against Sevilla. Again, it's not say it's a big game for him in terms of Sevilla, but it's a team that he played for. I know it doesn't help, but maybe it always matters just a little bit, you know, that he came from them and their academy. But yeah, I would rest him, even if he's okay. I know he did full training today. He was on the group that won. They took that nice picture. But I would not start Lamine Yamal against Sevilla, and I would start him against Bayern and Real Madrid. I know you needed 3 points against Sevilla because if you lose 3 points and Real Madrid win the game this weekend, now a Clasico, you're on par anyway. It's always a reminder that every game matters in the Liga for 3 points as much as El Clasico does. But,
Right.
Obviously that's a swing and it can change the momentum of a season and all that stuff. So I think in excruciating detail, that would be all my answers. Ansu start against Sevilla, Lamine starts against Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. And then Rafinha gets to start in both those games, in all 3 games, I should say.
Yeah. I think Pedri is going to be he's going to play at least in both Bayern and Madrid, probably at least 75 minutes in both. And I would be surprised if he starts against Sevilla, honestly. Hansi Flick has been good at managing his minutes, so maybe he does, because he does take him out in the 68th minute every single game. But I don't necessarily think he's needed. It might also be a good time to get a little run out for Olmo for like 30 minutes. You could play Rafinha. You could play Rafinha centrally, then Gavi, not Gavi, Eric Garcia, and probably De Jong or probably Casado in the middle. But I think it's just making sure the main guys are healthy for Bayern and Madrid, and also have some first game experience in the past week ready to get into it. I don't know if having Gavi's first game back be Madrid is the best idea.
As a starter. No, I mean as a starter.
Sure.
Like,
okay.
You're starting him. I think he's going to get a run out against Sevilla and Bayern Munich. But I'm saying his first start would be his third match,
Sure.
which, again, if he's training at full fitness, then you'd hope that would be
Yeah.
the case. But all I know is that Eric Garcia should be starting against Sevilla.
Yeah.
That is the guarantee that I have.
Yeah.
That is what I know.
Take all 90 minutes. You can have him.